What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from Scalar Learning. And today, as it is Wednesday, we are continuing with the ISEE prep. This is again for the middle level ISEE for you guys who are applying to seventh or eighth grade. A lot of you guys in Los Angeles or other places in New York. And I know a lot of cities. I think there's over 2,000 member schools that use the ISEE. It's a brutal test for middle schoolers to take, and I'm here to help you out specifically with the math section. So today we're using a amazing resource from ISEEpracticetest.com from Test Innovators, and we're going through test number 3 and the quantitative reasoning section. So if you guys want to check this out in preparation, if you're using this product, definitely watch this video explanation because I'm going to blaze through it under time conditions. And also, if you want to check the description link below, you can buy my course for the math section of the Middle Level ISEE, which is a video course that also has a whole suite of independently created practice problems that are modeled to be just like those on the real test. All right, here we go. Quantitative reasoning. This is a no calculator test. We're going to take it online. And ready, set, begin. Which of the answer choices is not equal to 20? This is 4 times 5, 20, 20, 20, this one. So this is 4 squared is 16 times 2, which actually equals 32. So that's out. Next. Coffee shop, a latte costs $2 and a mocha costs $3. How much does it cost to buy 9 lattes, so 9 of these, and 11 mochas? So this is just straight up arithmetic. So we got 9 times 2, which is 18, plus 33. And we're going to add these up very carefully, carry the 1, and that's $51. So you guys all probably know how to do this math, but you want to take the time to answer it very carefully. Okay, next. Chad has 55 cents in nickels and dimes. He has a total of 7 coins. How many of each coin does he have? Now look, I could probably just go through and pick the answers, right? He has a total of 7 coins. So this is 15 plus 40 is 55. I'm guessing this is right. This is 2 nickels, 10 plus 50 is 60. That's wrong. 1, so that's 65. That's 30. That's 40. So we definitely know it's A. Next, the net shown can be folded into a polyhedron, which can be constructed from this net. So look, it's going to fold up. Imagine this side folding up, these triangles folding up, and this folding across. So it's going to be something like this at the box on the bottom, and a triangle here, and then these guys, these rectangles. So something like this. And then not that one. So B is out for sure. That doesn't make any sense. This is out because there's no square. It's just triangles. Wait, this might be our best one. Yeah, because this is 3. This is 1, 2, 3 rectangles and 2 triangles, and no like kind of square. Looks like all these rectangles are the same, and that's not the case there. So it's gonna be this one. It's gonna be like a little square here, this and this. Yeah, and if we like rotate it, I think D is our guy. Okay. Just making sure, right angles. We got the right angles. Yeah, I think that's right. All right, next. What was the average number of prizes won at, by the way, we got 32 minutes left. What was the average number of prizes won at this arcade? So average, we're going to add all these up and divide by the number of people, which is 5. So it's 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 6 plus 5, 7, 9, 15, 20. Divided by 5, which is 4. That's average. Same as mean. If 3y plus 6, okay, watch this. We got to solve for y. So we got to do some variable isolation. Subtract 6, subtract 6. 3y equals 12, divide by 3, divide by 3. Y equals 4. So if y equals 4, 2 times 4 plus 2 equals, 2 times 4 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Next. Numbers increase in the pattern shown below. Okay, so we got to identify the pattern. 5, 8, I see a jump of 1 first, then I see a jump of 2, Then I see a jump of 3. So I can see that the pattern seems to be jumping by successive integers. This is probably going to jump by 4, and then it again jumps by 5. So 4 plus 8, if 8 jumps by 4, it goes up to 12. And notice then we go 12 to 5 plus 5 is 17, and indeed that makes sense. Sorry, whoops. My answer is 12. I didn't select it. There we go. Number 8. The price of an ice cream has increased by 40%. If the price of ice cream used to be $2.50, what is the price of ice cream now? So if it's increased by 40%, we can either multiply it by 0.4 and add that value to 250, or if it's an increase, simpler or saves a step is you multiply it by 1.4. Okay, so it's 0, 20, carry the 2, 8 is 10, 0, 0, 5, and 2. Cross that off now. Then add them up: 0, 0, 5, and 3. Now, how many decimals do we have? Our numbers behind the decimal: 1, 2, and 3. So we go 1, 2, and 3, and my answer is $3.50. If the price, yeah, it used to be. Okay, just making sure. Megan brings 4 20-ounce bags of snacks onto class, so 80 total. Lacey eats 1/5 and Megan eats 1/4. How many total ounces are left? So 1/5 and 1/4 are eaten. Oops. So I'll do it like this. So this becomes 4/20. This becomes 5/20, right? I'm multiplying this by 4 and 4 to get a common denominator, 5 and 5. And then we add these together. So 9/20 are gone, which means 11/20 are left. So we want to take 11/20 of 80. Divide this by 20, that gives 1, 4. 4 times 11, 44. So 44 ounces are left. Oops, did I skip 8? Oh, I didn't select 350. Okay, next, 10. The area of the shaded region is shown is 12 inches. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3. So each one of these is 4. What is the area of the largest triangle? So if each one of these squares is 4, and the triangles look like exactly half, so we're going to make that assumption. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 4 is 24. And if these are 4, then the triangles are half at 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Triangles make 8, and we got a total of 32. The other way we could think about this is each one of these has an area of 4, right? So that means it's a 2 by 2 square. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8 by 8 times 8 times 8 is 64. And we take half of that area to get a triangle, half base times height, which is the same, also 32. So we get the same answer both ways. A delivery company charges customers based on the weight of the package. If the pattern in the table continues, how much did the package weigh if the price of the delivery was $96? So it looks like it goes 3, 6, 12, so it's doubling, right? So let's assume that pattern continues. Next we get 24, next we get 48, next we get 96. And it looks like here we're going 0 to 19, here we're going 20 to 39. So these are going up by 20 ounces or something like that, 40 to 59. This would be 60 to 79. This would be 80 to 99. This would be 100 to 119. See how it jumps by 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. Right there. Next. Which is the best approximation of the value of the square root of 250? All right, let's choose. This is how I like to do these problems. So I know that we usually know that 12, the square root of 12 is 144. Square root of 13 is 169. Hopefully you have these memorized to a certain degree. These ones are important. 196. 15 is 225. 16 is 256. 17, I think it's 289. Wait. 9, 4, 7, 11, 0, 7, 1. Yeah, it's 289. So 289. So we see that 16 and 15 are pretty close, right? This is 256, this is 225, but this is the best answer. So 16 is our answer. The rectangular prism is made up of smaller equal cubes. The volume of one cube is 6. What is the volume of the rectangular prism? So each one is 6. How many cubes are there? Look, we can calculate it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's one kind of slice is 10. But then there's a second slice in here and a third slice. So it's 3 times 10 is 30. Whoops. And then it's 30 cubes, and each cube has a volume of 6 cubic inches. So 6 times 30, which is 180. Next. Kelsey recorded the low temperature for 7 days and found the mean was 11. So what I like to do with mean problems is I set it up, and this is the total on top and the number of whatever we're doing on the bottom. So I don't even know if I'll need this yet, but if the thermometer incorrectly gave a temperature 2 degrees higher than the actual temperature for each of those 7 days, so it was 11 degrees higher, what is the actual mean of the low temperatures? So each day was 2 degrees higher, so that's going to drop down by 2 degrees. That's 9 degrees. That's it. You may be thinking like, oh, it's 14 degrees lower, so -3. I can show you an example. For example, if it was, let's just do a few values, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, okay? If we added these up, we get 20, 30, 42, 52, 55 divided by 5 is 11. But if instead there were 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, we added these up, it would be 20, 30, 38, 45 divided by 5, which would be 9. So it's just going to drop by 2 degrees. So it's 9. Next, let me see how we're doing time-wise. Okay. Randall's rolling dice with 6 sides. Okay, if he rolls it 3 times, what is the probability of all 3s landing on even numbers? Each time it's got a 1/2 chance. So if we want the joint probability of landing on it all 3 times, we just multiply these together. It's 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 equals 1 over 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So 1/8. Next, a group of 8 members has a mean of -2. Okay. So the group of 8 numbers has a mean of -2. An additional number, so this would be the total of them adds up to -16. An additional number is added to the group to create a new group of numbers with a mean that is 5 more than the mean of the original group. And by the way, this adds by 1. Because what we did, I took my original thing, which is total divided by the number of items equals the mean. They said the mean goes up by 5 when we add some number. And then, by the way, now we don't have 8 numbers, we have 9 numbers. So our new equation is -16 plus, and they say, what is the additional number, which is x. So it's already set up for this. Equals -2 plus 5 is 3. Multiply both sides by 9. And we get -16 plus x equals 27 plus 16 plus 16. X equals 343. Next. A square is graphed on a coordinate plane. The coordinates of the 3 corners are 0, 4. Wait, I should probably draw a little bit of a graph here. I don't know if we need to, but let's just do it anyways. Okay. So let's say these are 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0, 4, 7, 0. So this is my 0 point. 7, 0, 4, 11, 11. So my other point is going to be out here somewhere. So look, we can figure it out this way. To get from this bottom point to that one, we go across 4 and up 1, 2, 3, 4. So we go across 4 and up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because all the sides are equal and the relationships are constant. So this coordinate is 5, 10, 11 out, and up 5, 2, and 7. It's 11, 7. There we go. Next. Square A and square B are similar. All squares are similar, which means there's just a constant ratio proportion between the sides. And for B is 64. Okay, so the area of square A is 16. The area of square B is 64. The ratio of the length of... Okay, so let's do this. So the square A and square B has sides 4 by 4. These are 8 by 8, right? 4 times 4 is 16. 8 times 8. So what's the ratio of the length of square A, 4, to the length of square B, 8? 4 to 8 is the same as 1 to 2. Just like a fraction, we can divide them both by 2 and simplify. Hey, come on. We're about halfway through. Okay. Harry and Deborah each own a landscaping company. Deborah earns 4 times the amount that Harry earns. After 7 weeks, Deborah has earned $21,000. Right? Take whatever Harry makes, 4 times that is Deborah. After 7 weeks, Deborah has earned $21,000 more than Harry. Can we use to find? Okay, so 7 weeks. So 7D equals 4H. Hold on. Let's see what these equations look like. Okay, so it's all in terms of H. So 21,000. Sorry, hold on. 4H. So 7H. Oh, got it. So 7H plus 21,000. So Harry in 7 weeks, right? Plus 21,000 equals 7D, which is the same as, since D equals 4H, 28H. That's our equation. 7H. So, or 21,000, nope. It's D. Because this is the same equation. It's not letting me select it. If I were to subtract both sides by 21,000, I'd get 28H minus 21,000 equals 7H. So pretty hard problem, but that's definitely the right one. This one is wrong because we're adding these two here. This one is wrong because this would mean that what she makes, 28 plus 7 is what he makes. That's wrong. And then this is 28,000. 21,000. Yeah, this makes no sense. Okay, next. The graph shows the relationship between the time spent with the customer and the total amount of money the customer spends. Okay. Using the line of best fit, what is the average amount of money earned per minute when 20 minutes are spent with the customer? 20 minutes. Boom, line of best fit is, let's say 32. But that's total amount spent. We want they said, what is the average amount earned per minute? So it's $32 divided by 20, which is 16 divided by 10, which is 1.60. Okay, any number divided by 10, you just move the decimal over once. Oh, well, this is the closest. I approximated, right? So, because it's like, I said 32, maybe it's 31 or something. Okay, next. All right, quantitative comparisons. Which one is bigger? So this is 2 plus 5 is 7 squared. Yeah, let's keep an A and a B up here, which is 49. This is 4 plus 25. We square them first and then add them, which is 29. A is bigger. Next. Okay. We've got area of triangle 1. It's a right triangle. We do 1/2 base times height, so 10. 160, half of that is 80. This one is 20 times 8 is 160. Half of that is 80. So they're equal. Next. 25% of 700. Move the decimal over twice. It's 0.25 times 700 equals 0, 0, 35, 0, 0, 14. Move the decimal over twice. It's 175 for A. This one is 0.5 times 400. We could do 0.50, but that other 0 doesn't matter. 0, 0, 2. Move decimal over once. And it's 200 for column B. Column B is larger. Next, 30. We just got to figure out is B bigger than 30 or not. So 1 lap is 1/9 of a mile. So we do 9 laps for 1 mile. Another 9 for 2 miles. Another 9 for 3. 9 plus 9 plus 9 is 27. So, A is bigger. Next. All right, we got to solve for x. X minus 4 over 5 equals 6 over 5. I'm going to show you a little trick so you don't have to do... Actually, no. This one's fine. We're going to isolate. We're going to add 4/5 to both sides. That cancels out negative and a positive. They go away. 6 plus 4 is 10 over 5, which reduces to 2. So what's bigger, 2 or 5 over 2? This is 2.5, so B is bigger. This is divided into 9 equal squares as shown below. Probability that the marble will land on a square marked with a number that is a multiple of 3. Multiples of 3 include 3, 6, and 9. So there's 3 boxes that have that out of 9, which means A is a 1/3 probability for A. For B, probability that the marble will land on a square marked with a number greater than 6, which is 7, 8, 9, which is also 3 out of 9, which is also 1/3. And that gives us C. Sadie earns $63 working 6 hours. Leo earned 63 working 6 hours. That's Sadie. Leo earned 76 working 8 hours. Amount of money Sadie earns working 10 hours. Okay. I could do it one of two ways. We could do it with a proportion, or I could find the hourly rate and multiply it by 10, which I think I'll do. So if I do 63 divided by 6, okay, goes in once, 0, bring down another 0.5. So she makes $10.50 per hour times 10, move the decimal over. So A is 105. Okay, here the amount of money Leo earns working 11 hours. So Leo makes 76 in 8 hours. 8 goes into 76, 9.5, 40. So he makes $9.50 times 11, 59059, which is a 5, 14 carry the 1, 10, move the decimal over once, 104.5 for B. So A is bigger. Okay, then we have 1 minus 1/2 x equals 5, minus 1 minus 1, negative 1/2 x equals 4. Multiply both sides by negative 2. Boom and boom. That becomes x, that becomes negative 8. So x equals negative 8, which is column A. Y equals, let's do variable isolation, 4 minus 5 equals 27. I'm going to add 5 to, I already know y is bigger. 4y equals 32. Then we do the opposite of multiply. We divide both sides by 4, and y equals 8. So B is positive. So since B is positive, we're already done. We already know that it's bigger. Okay, next. The probability of rolling an even number greater than 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So an even number greater than 2 is 4 or 6. So that's 2 out of 6, or 1/3 for A. Okay. The probability of rolling a 1 or a 5, that's 2 out of 6, also 1/3. So B is also 1/3. So they're equal. Next. All right, radicals and square roots. Let's see our time here. 13 minutes for 8 problems. Okay, so this we do 6 plus 8 first, and that's 14 squared. Now the trick is you can square this and then take the square root of it, but that's doing way too much work. Square root and a square cancel out their opposite operation, so column A is 14. Column B is just 6 plus 8, which is 14 also, so these guys are equal. Okay. Next, we have W is a positive integer. Okay, how the heck would you do this? You might be tempted to answer D, but I don't think that's right. So first of all, what can I do? Here I can do something. I can split this up into 2 fractions. I can make this into 2W over 2 plus 2 over 2 minus 1. I can always do this when numbers are over a shared denominator. Then look what I can do. I got a 2 on top and the bottom, so they cancel out. So this is just W. I've got 2 over 2, which we know any number over itself is just 1, and then minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So column A is just W, just like column B. Therefore, they are indeed equal. All right, the slope questions. Now, if we have slope problems, we need to isolate y to get the slope, get it in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides, and we get negative y. Don't forget that minus sticks to that, equals, I'm going to put the negative 6x first, plus 5. Now I want to get rid of the negative on both sides, so I'm going to multiply everything times negative 1. We have y equals positive 6x minus 5, and therefore my slope is a positive 6, so a is 6. To calculate the slope of 2 points, what we got to do is the formula for this is, I'm going to show you a fast way to do it. We take the difference of the y's over the difference of the x's. That's rise over run. And so I always stack the coordinates and subtract down. So we do 5 minus 6, because these are my y values, over 3 minus 9, my x values. And it doesn't matter which one we put on top. We just have to be consistent and subtract down both times. 5 minus 6 equals negative 1. 3 minus 9 equals negative 6. Negative over negative makes a positive, but it's still tiny compared to the other one of a slope of 6. This is a slope of 1/6, so a is clearly bigger. Uh-oh, this is glitching, it looks like. All right, the area of the shaded region, the area of unshaded region. Okay. So these guys all look to be equal. And, oh, you know what? I think this makes sense if we draw on this guy. This is like a spatial reasoning problem, in a sense. And I could calculate it, but that would take too long. I can see that. Hold on here. If I do this, see how all these triangles are the same? Right? This is the same as this, and this, and this, and this. So these are all equal. Just making sure I'm not doing that wrong, right? Yeah. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shaded, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unshaded. So the two are equal. Why is this not connecting? Okay. We've got 9 minutes left, 9.5 minutes left. The length of segment JK is 24. See how I'm drawing it out when there's no diagram given? Point L is the midpoint of JK. Cool. And point M is the midpoint of LK. Boom. So if this is the midpoint, this distance here is 12. Midpoint means it's the halfway point. All right, so I know that's 12. Let me use a different color now. And then N is the midpoint of segment LK. N is the midpoint of LM. So here's N. Okay, so check this out. This is 12. This is also 12. Since M is in the middle, this distance here is 6, right? That's the midpoint of this line, which is 12. N is the midpoint, so this distance in here is 3 and 3, right? This little distance right there. The length of segment NK, so we're going from N to K. Look how when the numbers are all nicely laid out like this, I'm just putting in what they said. I didn't know what was going to ask. NK, we've got this distance here of 3, this distance here of 6. NK equals 9 and 8. 9 is clearly bigger than 8, so A is our winner. Next, we've got a triangle like this. All right, let me mark this up a little bit. I'm going to move it over here. So if they're telling us that AB equals AC, this is an isosceles triangle. Both of these sides are equal. What we know about isosceles triangles is if the sides are equal, the opposite angles must be equal. That's our marking for the equal sides. And then we know that A equals 30. So if this guy equals 30 over here, this guy equals 30 over here. Now the last rule we need to know is all the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So if this is 30, this is 30, that's 60. This one has to be 120 degrees. So A plus B is 60. C is 120. Let me just make sure I got this right. A, B. Yeah. So B is bigger. Okay, in the picture shown, all lines appear to be perpendicular. Are perpendicular. So the perimeter of polygon A, so it's a rectangle, so 24, 40, 24, 40, so 48 plus 80 is 128. The perimeter of this guy is 24 plus 28 plus, it's the same. They're the same because this is still 24 by 40. This is 8. We don't know what these two are, but it doesn't matter because if it was just a full rectangle like this one, which basically it's the same thing, it would be the same. This whole distance would be 24. So this actually has to be, we do know what this is. I'm sorry. This is 16 and this is 12, but it doesn't matter because this is 40, this is 28, so this has to be 12. But if we add it all up, it's going to be the same, but I'll do it anyways. 24, 28, 4. Let me make sure I have a good time here. Yeah. So it's 24, 28, 48. And I'm telling you that this side has to be 12. And I'm telling you that this side has to be 16 because 8 plus 16 is the full 24. 4, 8, 12, 20, 22, 28. Carry a 2, 4, 6, 10, 11, 12. And they're equal. Last question. Solve for m and n. Oops. 2m plus n equals 10. This is what's called a system of equations. Now, there's different ways that we can solve this, but I'm going to advocate for elimination here. Elimination is my favorite way to solve these in general. You could also isolate and substitute, but let's go with elimination. I would just want to get these, I want to get one of these variables to line up with the other one in an opposite format so that we can combine the equations and cancel one out. So I'm going to multiply this entire first equation by -2. -2 times m is -2m. -2 times 2n is -4n. -2 times 8 is -16. So why did I do that? I did that for the m. So now the m's are opposites, 2m and -2m. Now we're going to add these. 2m plus -2m, 0. n plus -4n is -3n. 10 plus -16 is -6. You can divide both sides by -3. -6 divided by -3 is 2. That's my n value. My m value can be found by taking this and plugging it into either equation. So I'll plug it in up here. So it's now m plus 2 times, I'm replacing n with 2 equals 8. 2 times 2 is 4 equals 8. Subtract 4 from both sides to isolate m equals 4. So m equals 4. Column B is 2 squared, so it says n squared. 2 squared is indeed 4 because 2 squared is 2 times 2. So the two are equal. Okay, we've got 4 minutes left. Normally, if you have this extra time, absolutely check your work, see if you made any mistakes, but we're going to just go for it and end it and check the results, see if I got anything wrong. And if I did, we will review those now. It looks like everything right. All right, so there you have it. That is how you tackle middle level ISEE quantitative reasoning section. And hey, what's up, guys? Good evening. All right, so email me if you have questions about geometry, John. I would be happy to give you suggestions. I gotta go because I gotta start my tutoring appointments for the night. But I'll be on the road for the next 8 hours working with students. But you guys are welcome to email me at huzaifa@scalarlearning.com. Thank you guys so much for joining. And again, we got a bunch more live streams coming out next week and a cool study tip coming out this Friday. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.